My name is X. I'm 5 years old. I like drawing not because I'm good at it, but because when I hold a crayon, everything in my head seems to fly out, turning into shapes, colors, and stories. I draw spaceships, the kind of fly higher than the moon. I draw tools like the hammer my dad uses to fix things. But what I like most is drawing people nobody notices. Like the janitor lady at school who sweeps the yard every morning, her hair tied up high, smiling. But nobody sees. I think if I draw them, they won't be forgotten. One evening we had guests at home. It wasn't a big party. My dad doesn't like noise, and neither do I. Just a few grown-ups wearing nice clothes, talking about things I don't understand, like highways or the sky. There was jazz music, soft like the sound of wind coming from a speaker I couldn't find. I don't like squeezing into crowds, so I took my crayon box and paper and sat in the corner of the sunroom. The light was yellow and outside the window was the sea, sparkling like someone sprinkled diamonds on the water. I like this spot because it's quiet, and I can draw without anyone bothering me. I drew a person holding a broom. They were small, just a few stick lines, but I imagined them sweeping a path full of leaves. I drew another person sitting on a bench, head down like they were sad. I thought if the path was clean, that person would look up and smile. I colored the broom brown, same color as the wooden floor at school. I was careful because I wanted the picture to be really nice. Then I heard footsteps. I looked up and saw a tall man. He was wearing a suit with blonde hair, bright like sunshine. I knew him because I saw him on TV. My dad said he's the president named Trump. He usually talks loud and laughs big, but today he wasn't like that. He looked at my drawing, bending down a little like he wanted to see it closer. I was a bit worried because I didn't know if he'd like my picture. My mom says grown-ups sometimes don't understand kids' drawings. Do you like drawing people? He asked. I nodded. I don't usually talk much to strangers, especially important grown-ups. He pointed at the person with the broom. What's this one doing? I thought for a bit. I wanted to say it right, it's helping. I said cleaning up so the other one isn't sad. He smiled, not the loud kind of smile like on TV, but a soft one like when my dad sees me do something good. He crouched down and his knees made a crack sound. I almost laughed, but I stayed quiet. Is that what you want to be? A helper? He asked. I looked at my drawing. The person with the broom looked small, but I thought they were strong because they worked without needing anyone to clap for them. I didn't want to be an astronaut or a superhero like the other kids at school. I just wanted to do something to make people happy, especially the ones nobody sees, like the janitor lady or the guard at the gate, always wearing a hat but nobody remembers his name. I said I want to be someone who helps people when nobody sees them. After I said it, I looked at him. His eyes got big like when I see a new star in the sky. He didn't say anything else. I thought maybe he found my answer weird. Grown-ups usually want to hear big things like, I want to be president or I want to fly to Mars. But I just said the truth. He stood up slowly and walked to the window. He stood there a long time looking at the sea. The light from the water shone on his face, making him look different, unlike the loud person on TV. I didn't know what he was thinking. I worried he was mad, but he didn't turn around to say anything. I kept drawing, coloring the shirt of the person on the bench blue, because blue is the color of hope. My mom says my dad came over and stood next to the president. They talked about something, but I didn't hear clearly because I was busy thinking if I should add a tree to the picture. That day the president didn't talk to me much more. When he left, I saw him shake hand with my dad and look at me once. I wasn't sure if he smiled, but I thought he wasn't mad. I put the drawing in my box because I wanted to keep it, like keeping a secret. Time passed and I didn't think about him much. I kept drawing one picture every day. I drew a bird in the garden, the machine my dad makes, even a person pushing a trash cart I saw at the park. Then one day my dad told me the president wanted to meet a guy. I was surprised. I asked, "Why does he want to see me?" My dad just smiled and said, "He likes the way you think." This time we met in our guard. It was afternoon, the sun all gold, stretching across the grass like a big blanket. I sat under a big tree, took out my paper, and started drawing. That day I drew a person building a ramp for someone in a wheelchair. I thought if there was a ramp, they could go anywhere, not get stuck. I colored the ramp gray like the path at school, and added some flowers next to it to make it prettier. I heard footsteps. I looked up and saw the president. He was wearing a coat, not a suit like last time. He sat down next to me on the grass. I was a little surprised because I thought important grown-ups don't sit on grass. He looked at my drawing and asked, "What are you drawing today?" I pointed at the picture, a person building a ramp so the other one can go everywhere. He smiled. His smile made me feel warm. Like when my mom hugs me. He said, "You're only 5, but you understand things grown-ups don't." I shrugged. I didn't think I was smart or anything. I just drew what I saw in my head. Like when I see a bee fly by and imagine it's telling a story. I said I just think about stuff. He took out a folded paper from his coat. He gave it to me and said, "This is for you." I took the paper, but didn't open it right away. I looked at him and saw his eyes shining, like he wanted to say something important. I smiled and said, "You're welcome," because my mom taught me to say that when someone says thank you. He nodded and sat there for a bit watching me draw. He didn't talk much, but I felt like he wasn't in a hurry to go anywhere, like he wanted to stay just to see the ramp in my picture grow bigger. When he stood up, he patted my head. I don't like when grown-ups do that, but this time I didn't mind. He said, "Keep drawing, X." I nodded because I knew I'd draw whether he said so or not. That night when I was in my room, I opened the paper he gave me. It was long like a real letter. He wrote in black ink with big letters. "Easy to read," he said. I made him remember a janitor who gave him candy when he was little, back when he felt lonely at school. He said I made him want to talk to people he didn't notice before, like street sweepers or cooks. He said he wrote notes to strangers and remembered his brother. He said I made him better. When I finished reading, my chest felt warm. I didn't understand everything because I'm only 5, and grown-ups say hard things sometimes. But I knew he wasn't mad at me from before. I knew he liked my drawing even though it was just a few stick lines. I folded the paper carefully and put in my crayon box. It's to the blue crayon I like best. I didn't tell my dad or mom, because I thought the president wanted it to be a secret between me and him. Sometimes when I draw, I think about him. I wonder if he still remembers the person with the broom in my picture. I imagine him walking down big streets, looking at people cleaning and saying thank you to them. I hope he draws something too, even if it's just in his head to make someone happy like I want to do. I don't know if he really does, but I think if I draw enough, maybe one day people will see the ones they usually forget, and they'll smile like the person on the bench in my picture.